Hello, everyone. Joining me now is John J.M. Kramer. You may have seen this guy or his work before, the Lego Project. It's glad to have you on. I've been wanting to talk to you for so long, and finally, here it is.
Thank you for having me.
So, tell me all about it. And while you're talking, I'm going to play some video that shows some of the pictures of the Lego Church Project. And tell me why this is really cool. So, tell me how it started, how you got into this.
Well, what it is for your audience is every year, usually starting around late January, early February, I build a giant church of my own design out of Lego. Takes me about a month to 2 months to build, depending on design and whatnot. And it is an impressive work because, as you can see it behind me, this thing takes up a table easily enough. And kind of how it got started is growing up, church is our foundation, and I was doing a lot of stuff with that. So as a kid, I was building these rudimentary buildings that would eventually turn into churches. What it turned into a project and eventually this ministry that I've got going on is I started doing public displays. First at Mount Zion Catholic Pastoral Center in Flushing, and then started doing the annual Advent Christmas display over at Christ the Good Shepherd here in Saginaw. We used to be called St. Helens back in the day, and that has been my longest running display, going on 20 years now. And I've been doing the project itself for 24 years. And what I do is I'll build it, display it, and then I'll tear it down and then start the process all over again. Now, as for why I do it, I've got malformed cerebral palsy, even though it doesn't look like it. My disabilities are tend to be more invisible, but I'm showing that no matter what challenge or disability you face, God can still use your talents. This is a message that I live with and try and encourage others to explore their talents, to see where God is leading them in their own lives.
Wow, that's what I was going to ask. So, do you have to order like special parts for this, or how does that work? Because it's very, as I was looking at the pictures, it's some of that, I don't know. Do you have to do specialty parts from Lego?
Well, Lego has a wide variety of parts.
True.
A lot of it is off the shelf. What you can do is there are marketplaces online that you can go to buy specific parts from different vendors. Think of it as a giant flea market called Bricklink. Just one massive flea market and with hundreds of vendors. And you can shop around looking for pieces like the pieces for the organ, pieces for the windows that I use. Those are just clear panels. Uh, there are some non-Lego components that are in there, like a crucifix, some custom-made pieces that people have donated over the years. So there's just this wide range of materials that go into one of my projects, and most of it you can find online, thankfully.
So it definitely gets people talking. Is that the goal as well? Even to see it on like Twitter. I have, a lot of people on Twitter and I share it out. It gets people talking and thinking about God. Is that what it's about as well, to spark a conversation?
It is. It's also a prayer for me. I am literally praying with my hands. I'm pouring everything into what I'm doing. Uh, as someone who's been doing this for so long, you take a lot of time to reflect, and that kind of goes through my hands as I'm spending time. And people don't see it, but from the picture, even when I'm posting pictures of the build, they're not seeing the creative energy that's going. Where I'm spinning this project around, I'm building this on a folding table. I've got hundreds of trays. There are some pieces that I just put in that are reused from previous years, but still, all that energy goes in. I include a lot of different types of figures in there. I've got people with visible disabilities, uh, people that are in wheelchairs. I've got service animals. I've got a sign language interpreter this year for the first time. All kinds of fascinating details that get people to think, to open the doors and realize that we all have a place inside the church.
That is truly amazing, and it is true. Now, you were saying, and as people might know, I have two little ones. I have a 5-year-old. And if I was to come out there, I haven't seen this in person yet, but I want to come out. I should keep the children away from there because I don't want them to destroy
No,
that.
let the kid. let the kids come up. Seriously, I know what it'll take to cause any major damage, and believe it or not, the kids are actually they respect it. There are a couple windows here and there that I keep an eye out to make sure they don't trip over cords and stuff.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I've never had any major issues. I think the most craziest thing I happened when I did a display a couple years ago is one kid managed to reach his hand all the way in and pull out one of the minifigures on the far end of the building. I didn't even think that was possible. Uh, but you know what? Stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
Uh, I've had more incidences with transport than I've had with children. Seriously, I mean, this thing. I joke about this, but I this thing is strong enough that it can survive being transported a couple hours away if needed. It's also kind of overbuilt because it takes into that consideration that kids are curious. They're going to want to
Yeah.
explore.
Yeah.
They see the project because it's big and bright, so they want to look in. They want to see it. And to be perfectly honest, I've had very few instances. And even if I did, it'd take a couple minutes to fix it if that. I
Okay.
think one year I was doing a display and uh, I think one of the windows got popped out, and my host was more freaked out about it than I was. It's like, okay, just give me a couple minutes. Okay, fixed it. Seriously.
Awesome. Well, the last thing I want to say are there's many churches in Michigan. I don't know how far you can travel or if someone wants to help assist you with traveling, but if if there's priests or people watching, are you able to come out to churches or events?
Well, here's the challenge that I have with that.
Yeah.
I do not drive. There are various reasons for that. But so if a parish is interested in having me out, I would love to come out. If you guys, if the parish is willing to provide transportation for me and the project, I will go where the Lord sends me, even if I can't see the details working out. I've had the privilege the last couple of years to go to some fun parishes. I went out to All Saints in Bay City. I've done a couple of visits there. Uh, Hemlock, St. John the 23rd out in Hemlock. Basically, any parish that is interested in having me, I would love to come out. I don't really charge for this because
Oh.
of the fact that number one, I want to share my talents. This project is not meant to be hidden away. I also will can give some talks a little bit on the issues of faith and disability. Those are the areas that I talk about. Over the years, I've had the chance to come on a lot of different programs, and I've been able to kind of fine tune my own talks, so to speak. Last year, I was up at St. Athanasius in Harrison, and there's a YouTube video going around of a presentation I did. First time I'd ever been recorded like that. A lot of fun. But that's the kind of stuff I talk about. I talk about transportation quite frequently because I don't, as I said, I don't drive. So I have to rely on the kindness of others. Thankfully, when I go to church, I can give me a ride. Not everyone is as fortunate as I am. So I'm trying to bring light to that issue as well and kind of have people think a little bit about the needs of their parish.
And let people realize no matter what the disability may be, there is always something you can do. Don't give up. That's what I'm
Yeah,
getting from you.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I've had to face my own share of challenges, but by the grace of God, I'm still standing mostly.
Well, you are a person I wanted to introduce everyone to. I have a lot of followers in other states. I don't know if that would make it on an airplane, though. I don't know if I would trust putting that on a plane. Um, that might not do
It's
very
actually
well.
kind of a surprising. I've actually transported this in a truck before, minivan, mid-size SUV. The consideration, and this thing weighs about 80 pounds, give or
Oh
take.
wow, really,
But
really,
uh,
wow.
oh yeah, this thing is, and part of it is because it sits on a plywood workstation,
Oh okay.
which is where I build it on, and it's screwed to the workboard in two spots. And but so what you do is you basically can lift it up, put it on a coffee cart of some kind, and wheel it out that way. That's how we got it over here. Me and my girlfriend brought it over, yeah, some time ago. So it can be moved, it can be transported. Setup is fairly easy for the most part, but I like to share this talent. I like to share my work with others, and that's why I fight so hard on it because this is not my work. This is the Lord working through me. That's just my unique take on it.
Amen. And I think oh, and people can find you. Are you on only just Twitter, or are you on you're on Facebook as well, right?
I am on Facebook under Lego Church Project. I'm on
Okay.
Twitter under the KC8WZM. I am also on Substack under Praying at the Bricks.
You know what? I am going to put a link to that out there because I'm signed up to that. So anyone who's watching right now, in the description below, I will put your links to all of those.
Yeah,
Cool.
been having a lot of fun so far.
Cool. Well, I am going to let you go get back to what you're doing. And once again, I'm going to put your links to everything. So if everyone wants to reach out to you, they can do so. And it's been an honor and a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.